Today I'm going to Abilene and I'm going there to fundraise. And I wanted to share with you guys as we go 10 fundraising hacks that helped us get funded. And not only did we get funded, but we actually love the process. So hack number one is you have to trust God. And that may seem like cliche to you, but here's the reality. If you go into this fundraising thing trusting your skills or your presentation or your vision, and you go in under this pressure of trying to convince people to give to you, it's just gonna change the whole experience for you and for them. And I think this is why most people have a bad experience fundraising. When I say trust God, I don't mean sit on your butt, do nothing, send a letter out. The last screw.
Oh. That'll be edited out.
So tip number two, hack number two is meet with people in person. Way more successful to meet in person. It's more fun for you. It changes the dynamic. You can actually bring tone into it. You can inspire and encourage people. Letters, GoFundMes, they're just not as effective. You're not going to get as much funding from as many people. There's only so many people you know, so meet with them in person. And yes, I mean travel all over the place. All right, so hack number three, you're gonna want to call people to get that appointment, that face-to-face appointment. And there's a key word you need to use when you ask for that appointment. You don't wanna say much on the phone, you wanna save it for your meeting, but you wanna use the word finance or finances or fundraising or some sort of word that helps the person understand that what they're agreeing to do when they meet with you is they're agreeing to hear you talk about your missions, your vision, your excitement, but they're also agreeing to hear you talk about inviting them to give. And the reason this is so key is because it will help them know when they come into that meeting with you what to expect of that meeting. If they expect it to be just friends hanging out, and when you start talking about giving, they're gonna be like, oh gosh, whoa, what is this? Oh, they're asking me for money, and they'll be totally shocked by it, and it'll completely kind of kill the mood for you and for them. But if you say the word finances in that phone call when you ask them for a meeting, it'll change the dynamic because they'll come in expecting to be asked. They'll probably expect it to be harder, more intense than you actually come across. So call in advance and say the word finance. It rhymes. I'm about to call somebody. This isn't someone that I'm close friends with, and it's not someone I've talked to in a while. Voicemail. Big boo. So tip number four is meet with anyone and everyone who's willing to meet with you. Don't meet with people just because you think they got money, or not meet with people because you don't think they have money, or think they like missions, or they don't like missions, or they know you, or they don't like you, or just ask them if they want to meet. If you've ever met them, if you have their number, you can connect with them on Facebook. Just ask them, tell them what you're doing, ask them if you can meet. You'll be shocked that most of our supporters are not like wealthy people, and many of them aren't like our best friends or like the people that know us the best. That's tip number four. About to hit the road.
All right, bye-bye, little booty.
Be obedient to mommy, okay?
Safe.
Hitting the road. Tip number five is share your passion, share your story, share testimony of what God has done, what he's doing in you and through you, and share your actual testimony of how you came to Jesus. It's so good to tell the stories of God. It'll strengthen your faith. It will cause you to be full of joy. And if the fundraising meeting just doesn't yield anything in terms of financial partnership, it will yield incredible return in the sense that God's story is going out. And you may be sitting in the living room of an aunt or an uncle, somebody that you know at work that you don't know that well. You may be sharing with them Jesus in a way that they've never heard before. That's a personal story that's engaging. And take that opportunity and don't just go in thinking about money. Go in thinking about, this is a God moment. This is an opportunity to talk about God with people. If you do that, it will shift your perspective, your focus. The money part's there. It's not like you avoid it, but it turns the whole fundraising meeting into more than just a fundraising meeting. It turns it into an opportunity for God to speak, for God to move, for God to get glory. And that makes it fun. That makes it go really well, even when you don't end up with the result of a financial supporter. So that's tip number 5, hitting the road. We'll see you in Abilene. All right, I made it here to Abilene. I'm stuck at a light. Tip number 6 is don't be afraid to straight up ask for people to join your partner team. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. You can say it in a way that's engaging, and don't be afraid to ask for a specific dollar amount per month. Your potential supporters, they don't know how much money you need. They don't know what you're raising. So when you ask for a specific amount, it challenges them. It gives them something that will stretch them, something to pray about. And they don't have to give that. You can give a range. You don't have to get the same number for every person even. But if you give a specific amount for them to think about, it actually honors them and helps them out. That's tip number 6. And I'm here. This guy.
Hey, camera.
Hey, Joey. Tip number 7 is this stat that I found incredibly helpful, and that is that 50% of the people you meet with face-to-face will support you, and 50% won't. There's just as much chance they will as they won't, and what that really did for me was it meant that when I went into a support raising meeting, the meeting for me shifted from being about trying to get a supporter to just connecting with another person. Then that kind of shifts the meeting's feel for me and for them to, I'm just gonna really have fun with this. I'm just gonna go there. This is just a part of the process. Like, this person is just as likely to not support me, and you know what? That's totally fine. That's actually expected. And for whatever reason, that 50% number, it just gave me so much freedom in these meetings. So that's tip number 7, and I gotta go to my appointment now, so we'll see you in a little bit. Fundraising hack number 8. The goal is not a yes. The goal is not a supporter. The goal is an answer. See, when you post on Facebook a GoFundMe, or you send out a letter, or you stand up in front of a church and say, anyone who's interested in supporting my ministry, come talk to me, people don't have to answer. One of the beautiful things about sitting down with someone face to face is you can actually say, I'm looking for you to pray about this. You can totally take the pressure off. You can say, but you're asking them to really take it seriously, to ask God, am I supposed to do this? So you're giving them the God card, basically. You're saying, all you gotta do is say, no, I don't feel led to do this. But what that is that's intentional, and it shows that you value what you're doing, and you're challenging someone to consider being a part of it. And that's my goal, is to get them to come back with a yes or no. And if they say no, like, that's awesome. Like, I'm not worried about people joining our team. 50% won't. There's some sort of flavor that's just like, I'm like, can I go? See you guys later.
See ya.
Hack number 9 is to take the pressure off. Take the pressure off yourself, take the pressure off the people you're chatting with. This is not about them providing for you or you convincing them to give. It's about God providing for both of you. And when people say no, it doesn't feel like rejection. They're just obeying God. And so give people the God card, take the pressure off. It'll change the whole experience for both of you. Put on the mask. Bro, what's up? Love these guys. I'm vlogging about fundraising.
That's awesome. We love who Dosa is all for them. What God's doing in their life. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
It's gonna make right.
Time.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah,
it's
dude.
limited, so
Tip number 10, you need a plan. Come up with a budget, know what you're trying to raise, and then if you know what your average gift amount is, if you know it's going to be, like, let's say you're asking for people to consider $100 a month, or let's say you're not asking at all, so it's probably $50 a month. Figure out how many supporters you need, and then realize you're probably going to need to meet about double that many people to get that many supporters. So if you need 50 people on your team, you need to meet 100 of them, 100 people. And to get 100 people to meet with you, you're probably going to have to try to get 200, 300 to meet with you. So if you start off with like 50 people thinking that's who's going to be on my team, you're going to realize like pretty quick, like we don't have all those people on our team. So you need a plan that's bigger than your final team size. And I think a lot of people don't get funded because they never set aside the time and the resources and put forward the effort because they don't have a plan. They don't understand what they really need. And probably turn more light on. That was a full day, good day. These 10 hacks is not a complete training, and you need complete training when it comes to fundraising. Support Raising Solutions was where we went and got our training, and they were fantastic. I highly recommend them. I'm going to put links down below to their ministry. They got a 2-day conference that I highly suggest you go and participate in. It's really awesome. If you don't have the opportunity to do that, you should buy the book, The God Ask, and read about their approach to fundraising before you start fundraising, because I really feel like it's really important. And if you're new here, we're some honest missionaries sharing from our experience in missions, hoping that it removes obstacles from your journey in missions. Hit that subscribe button. I'm going to link a playlist here of fundraising videos that we've had on our channel, and we'll see you guys in the next video.